welcome back to the show, you guys. We've got some interesting news for you today. Be sure to go back and watch my review for Daredevil Born Again. Posted that earlier today. Just my humble opinion, but outstanding show. Do not sleep on this show, you guys. It's probably one of the better things Marvel's done in years. Um, it's got a few issues, but I mean, the story overall is incredible. The writing is fantastic. Um, do us a favor, leave a like, put your comments in, do all those fantastic things. Help us out, help the channel grow. The more likes and comments we get, the more the algorithm makes us visible to other people to join this community. Um, Want to dive right into it. We've got a story. I'm sure you guys have seen the leaks that this art on looks like from Secret Wars. Not really sure. I would imagine so because some of those look like they were stripped straight from the Secret Wars, the Hickman Secret Wars, which I'm sure you guys are a lot more familiar with than the original Secret Wars from the 80s. A lot of interesting images were shown. Looks like concept art, early concept art. Um, but anyway, the Russos wanted to jump on and clear a few things up. And when the Russo brothers speak, when it comes to Avengers, you listen. I mean, they've got two, well, they've got more than two films. They've got more than two films under their belt for Marvel, but two of the highest grossing films of all time in Infinity War and Endgame. So when they've got something to say, your ears perk up and you need to listen. Um, anyway, I love everything that the Russo brothers have done within Marvel. Some of their movies outside of Marvel, uh, they are what they are, but everything they've done within Marvel, you can tell they have a real passion for the characters and the projects because it's on screen. The stories are dead on. The performances that they've got now, the actors, Oscar worthy, in my opinion. What Robert Downey Jr. done in Endgame should have been looked at for an Oscar. I'm telling you, it was some incredible stuff for a comic book movie. A lot of heart in that movie. Just anyway, let's jump right into these stories. Um, let's get right to it. Wish we could. Anyway, you're going to partially see me. Oh, as I read over this is coming from comicbookmovie.com. Um, so the Russo brothers plan to outdo Endgame and tease Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. Uh, they Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars will be helmed by the Russo brothers, the filmmaking duo behind Captain America the Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. The multiverse saga has been a little hit or miss, to say the least, especially with Marvel Studios expanding the MCU to streaming. However, if anyone can deliver two critical and commercial hits for Kevin Feige, got to be Joe and Anthony Russo. They were talking to Games Radar Plus. Joe addressed their approach to Doomsday and Secret Wars. Unsurprisingly, they're setting out to top the stories they've already told in the MCU. Absolutely, we want to beat those younger versions of ourselves, he said. We have to be right because we have to outdo those movies in a way, or at least have to take you on an equally engaging journey. Anthony added, these movies are an incredible opportunity for us, and they're an incredible opportunity for audiences. So we're doing what we can to deliver the experience everyone, I think, hoped for. If that recent leaked concept art is any indication, the directors will be pulling out all the stops to deliver the biggest, craziest Avengers movies to date. A big draw for regular moviegoers, whether fans like the idea or not, will surely be the return of Oscar winner and former Iron Man Robert Downey Jr. However, he's trading one metal suit for another, as Downey will be playing the MCU's new big bad, Doctor Doom. Talking to Jake's Takes, Joe explained, interestingly enough, Downey decided to go back before we decided to go back. I had dinner with Downey about a year ago, about a year before we agreed to do the movie, where he was trying to convince us why we should do it. We just didn't have a story to tell or a way in yet, and then it hit us. That changed what Stephen McFeely figured out. That changed, excuse me. That changed when Stephen McFeely, one of the original writers to Infinity War and Endgame, he said Stephen McFeely figured out the plot of both movies, and Anthony reiterated his excitement to see what Downey brings to the table as the evil Doctor Doom. Robert is one of the most Robert is one of the most talented performers on the planet, he said. For him to be motivated to explore a new character like Victor Von Doom, it doesn't get more exciting. In a separate interview with Games Radar Plus, the Electric State star Chris Pratt, who we know will return as the legendary Star Lord in the movies, opened up on the opportunities Russo's gave him in their new Netflix movie. We're not going to get into that. But anyway, Doomsday is set to be released in May 2026, with Avengers Secret Wars scheduled to arrive in May of 2027. Um, let's see. Let's take this back. There was another story. Okay. The Russo brothers also revealed tentative runtimes for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Cameras will start rolling on Avengers Doomsday in a matter of weeks, and the Russo brothers have now revealed the tentative runtimes for each of the highly anticipated Marvel Cinematic movies. At last year's San Diego Comic Con, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige announced that Joe and Anthony Russo were making their MCU return to helm these movies. The news was capped off with the reveal that Robert Downey Jr. will play Doctor Doom, a surprising decision which continues to divide opinions. All right, the Russos have plenty of MCU experience after helming Captain America and all the other movies I mentioned earlier. It's fair to say that Doomsday and Secret Wars are in safe hands, and in an interview with Collider, the duo weighed in on likely runtimes for both movies. If I were a betting man, Joe told the site, I would say the first one is 2.5, and the second one will be 3 hours. With that, it seemed like we have the current goal for the Multiverse Saga's two-part finale, likely based loosely on where they're going with the scripts for Doomsday and Secret Wars. When it was put to them that set photos could spoil some of the biggest moments for fans, Joe said, we're pretty good about shutting that down. Anthony added, we sort of strategized to hopefully be effective with that. Joe later confirmed that quite a bit of Avengers Doomsday is being shot on sound stages. We don't want people getting photographs, so we're being pretty stringent, he explained. Before Anthony chimed in to say the location work we are doing, we have picked those locations with that in mind as well. The filmmakers also revealed that they're gearing up for a standard length shoot with 6 months for each of them currently penciled in. When cameras were rolling on Avengers Endgame, we got a first look at the team traveling back in time to the events of the Avengers. However, to throw us off the scent, the Russos made sure barf cases were also spotted on set in Atlanta, addressing Robert Downey Jr.'s MCU return as the villainous Doctor Doom. At the Electric State premiere, writer Stephen McFeely said, "When I got the news this was where it was going, I thought it was pretty electric. There's a understandable desire to bring Robert Downey Jr. back to the MCU." He continued to do it as Tony Stark would be betraying what I thought was a pretty lovely ending for him in Endgame. The Russo brothers were also on hand, with Joe revealing it's all in London. We're shooting them fairly back to back. It's a lot of work again. We may or may not survive. We'll see. But we're excited about it. We found a way into the story that we think is going to be challenging for audiences. It's challenging for us to execute, and it's really exciting for us. It gets us out of bed to do it. There again, the movies will release in 26 and 27. Speaking of that, here's some of that concept art. Wanted to talk about that. Just an incredible piece right here. Don't know the artist's name, but I mean, look at that art. Uh, if that's any indication of what we're going to get from Robert Downey Jr., that looks absolutely incredible. I'm super stoked for both of these movies. The return of Anthony and Joe Russo and McFeely to work on these movies has me completely hyped. Um, though Marvel has done, they've had several hits and misses over the last few years going through the multiverse saga, but um, I know that Anthony and Joe were brought on for these last couple of movies to kind of put some things in and kind of shepherd where the story is going. So sounds like, from every indication of what they're saying, they've found a way in. They've cracked the code to these two movies, and I think we're going to all be in for a treat. Um, One thing that I also like that they're kind of being put as the shepherds to X Men. So I think we'll see possibly the new versions of the X Men at the end of Secret Wars, more than likely. I mean, there haven't really been any hints or breaks at that, but I think they're going to sprinkle that in. We could see a few characters, possibly not the whole team, but I do think we will see a few of them. I know they had um, a few characters in some of the concept art. I didn't post those up, but I'm sure you guys have seen them. They've been all over the internet. Um, what was interesting to me was the solo Star Lord and with the young Avengers and Wong. That's one thing that I really liked that they did with Infinity and Endgame. They kind of took unlikely pairings, putting these characters together, and they got some really good results. I think they're gonna do the same thing with these next two Avengers movies. I think, uh, judging by the concept art already, I think we're going to see that again. Um, they had some concept art of the White Vision paired up with Star Lord. That could be an interesting duo. Star Lord trying to help him discover himself again and you know put a more human light on him. Um, I tell you, I'm really excited for these movies. I think they're going to be absolutely incredible. Um, Wanted to jump on this too. Um, the return of all these characters in Daredevil, Born Again. Super excited to see all these guys back. Spoilers. One of them doesn't make it very long, but and Bernthal was not in episode 1 or 2, but I think he's going to be introduced pretty quick, um, judging by something that we've seen in episode 2. Um, oh, wrong one. Let's see. Jesus, let's get rid of that wrong thing. Yeah, Batman is not going to be in any of these. But anyway, let's get wrong one. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, it'd be awesome to see these two guys coming back, um, bouncing off each other. I like the dynamic between them in season 2. That was one of the better. All of them were good. I mean, but I really enjoyed the back and forth between Punisher and Daredevil in season 2. I think we're going to see more of the same in season 3. Excuse me, season 4 or season 1 of Born Again, whatever you want to call it. I'm sticking with season 4. It pretty much picks up where we left off, so I don't confuse you. If I say season 4, I'm talking about Born Again. So, but anyway, that's just some stills and some images. Um, from Daredevil Born Again, this show. I've watched the first 2 episodes. They were absolutely incredible. I don't think you need to sleep on this show at all. I think it's one of the better things that Marvel's done in a really long time. Um, really excited for the upcoming episodes. I know critics received the entire show to watch beforehand. That lets me know that Marvel has a whole lot of confidence in what they've got, and they'll be bringing some really good things to us as this show proceeds. Um, I know we're going to have. We basically got a Daredevil movie with the opening of this show, almost 2 full hours and 2 episodes. I'm sure we're not going to get our episodes for every one of them. Hopefully, we'll get close, maybe. I know they posted run times. Haven't seen those. If they're anything like these 2 episodes, though, I'm not worried about it because they brought a lot to us in a short time. Episode 1 felt like a movie within itself. When it was over with, I thought that was the first 2 episodes. To be honest with you, and then we went into to episode 2. And I was like, oh wow, that was incredible. You know, so don't sleep on this show. Um, anyway, you guys, that's about it. I'm not going to keep rambling on. Hey, drop a like. Tell me what you thought about the shows if you've seen them. Tell me what you think about the Russo brothers' comments about um, Doomsday and Secret Wars. Tell me your thoughts on where they might go with this. Can't wait to hear from you. I will respond. Anyway, you guys have a blessed one. That's the show. Till next time. Hey guys, you want to support the channel? Be sure and drop a like. Put those comments down in there. I'd love to talk with you guys. Like to make this a community. Other ways to support the channel, hey, go to my website at jerrycooleyart.com. That's www.jerrycooleyart.com. You can pick up my comics, t-shirts, prints, all kinds of stuff. Be sure and go on there and check that stuff out if you're interested in any of my work. You can also follow me on Instagram at Jerry Cooley 77 and also at Blue Sky to see what I'm up to as far as comics. Hey, love to see you there. jump on, give me a follow on all those socials. Um, Thanks for watching the show. Till next time, you guys, have a blessed one.